I found the wedding invitations while looking for napkins in my husband's glove compartment. Cream-colored envelopes with gold trim, the kind that whisper elegance and expense. The kind I'd helped Daniel pick out for our own wedding 8 years ago. My fingers trembled as I pulled one out, telling myself it was probably for a colleague's wedding or a cousin's second marriage. The late October sun beat through the windshield, making the metallic script dance as I slid the invitation free. Together with their families, Rebecca Ryan and Daniel Mackenzie request the honor of your presence. The words blurred. My stomach lurched as if I'd missed a step going downstairs. I read it again and again, willing the letters to rearrange themselves into something that made sense, something that didn't destroy my entire world on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. "Mommy, can we get ice cream?" Lily's voice floated from the back seat, yanking me back to reality. "You promised after my dentist appointment." Just a minute, sweetheart." My voice sounded strange, distant. I shuffled through the stack with numb fingers. 5 invitations, all addressed to different guests. The wedding date was set for spring. Spring. While I'd been planning our family vacation to Disney World, my husband had been planning his wedding to another woman. "Your teeth are all clean now, remember?" Lily continued, oblivious to the way my world was splintering. "Dr. Morris said I was the best patient ever." I forced myself to breathe, to smile, to act normal. "That's right, baby. You were so brave." The invitation felt like it was burning my skin. I shoved it back into the envelope, tucked the stack exactly where I'd found it. "Ice cream it is." My hands shook so badly I could barely turn the key in the ignition. 8 years of marriage, a beautiful home, our daughter, all of it built on what? How long had he been living this double life? At the ice cream shop, I watched Lily attack her strawberry cone with the pure joy only an 8-year-old can muster. Pink drops splashed onto her blue dress, the one Daniel had bought her last month. "You're just like your mama," he'd said, ruffling her hair. "Beautiful in blue." My phone buzzed, a text from Daniel. "Running late tonight, big client meeting, don't wait up." I stared at those casual words, remembering all the late nights, the weekend work emergencies, the business trips that seemed to multiply lately. How many of those had been spent with her, with Rebecca? "Mommy, you're not eating yours." Lily pointed to my vanilla cone, melting untouched in my hand. "It's dripping everywhere." "Oh," I grabbed a napkin, wiping sticky rivulets from my wrist. "Just lost in thought, sweetie." "About what?" "About how your father is a lying bastard, about how our entire life is a carefully constructed fiction, about how I don't recognize anything anymore, least of all myself." "About grown-up stuff," I said instead, forcing a smile. "Boring things." My phone buzzed again. This time it was Bailey. "Girls' night still on for Friday? Need wine and gossip?" I typed back absolutely, while my mind raced ahead. Bailey, my best friend since college, who knew every secret of mine, except this one. Not yet. I couldn't tell her, couldn't tell anyone, until I figured out what to do. The drive home was a blur of autumn colors and Lily's chatter about Halloween costumes. I nodded at appropriate intervals, but inside I was cataloging every suspicious moment from the past year. The new passwords on his phone, the fresh cologne, the gym membership he suddenly couldn't live without. "Can we watch a movie tonight?" Lily asked as we pulled into our driveway. "Since Daddy's working late?" I looked at our house, the perfect colonial with its perfect shutters and perfect flower boxes that Daniel and I had picked out together. Everything looked exactly the same as it had this morning. Everything was different. "Sure, baby." I helped her out of her booster seat, breathing in her sweet little girl scent. "You pick the movie." She ran ahead while I lingered by the car, my hand resting on the cool metal above the glove compartment. Inside was proof that my husband was marrying another woman in 6 months. Inside was the end of everything I thought I knew. I could confront him tonight. Scream, cry, throw things. But as I watched Lily disappear into the house, humming the theme from Frozen, A different kind of clarity settled over me, the kind that comes with absolute certainty that someone needs to pay. Coming, sweetie, I called out, my voice steady despite the ice in my veins. Let me just grab something from the kitchen first, like my laptop, and my phone, and every scrap of financial information I could find. Daniel wasn't the only one who could make plans for spring. The house feels different at 3 in the morning, emptier, like all the lies have carved out hollow spaces in the walls. I'm sitting at our kitchen island, surrounded by bank statements and credit card bills, my laptop casting a blue glow across the granite countertop Daniel was so proud of installing last year. My hands shake as I scroll through his credit card statements. Dinner for two at Le Petit Jardin, a weekend booking at the Lakeside Inn, a jewelry purchase from Tiffany's that definitely didn't make its way to my jewelry box. Each transaction is a fresh betrayal, each date stamp a knife twist. Just looking out for our future, he'd said when he insisted on separate accounts last spring. Smart financial planning. Smart. That's what everyone always called Daniel. Smart, successful, charming Daniel. Even now, he's sleeping peacefully upstairs, probably dreaming about his perfect new life with Rebecca, while I piece together the ruins of mine. My phone lights up. Bailey again. You've been quiet. Everything okay? I stare at the message, fingers hovering over the keys. Bailey would be here in 10 minutes if I told her. She'd bring wine and righteous anger and probably a baseball bat. But something stops me. The moment I tell someone, this becomes real, in a way I'm not ready for yet. All good, just busy with work stuff. Coffee tomorrow? The lie comes easily. Too easily. Maybe that's what happens when you live with a liar. It rubs off on you like cigarette smoke, seeping into your clothes and hair until you carry it with you everywhere. A floorboard creaks upstairs. I freeze, but it's just Lily turning over in her sleep. My beautiful girl, who still believes in fairy tales and happy endings. Who deserves better than watching her family implode. I pull up our joint account statement, and that's when I see it. Regular transfers to an account I don't recognize, always on the 15th of each month. $5,000 each time, going back almost a year. Son of a bitch, I whisper, the words sharp in the quiet kitchen. My fingers fly across the keyboard, following the money trail. It leads to a rental property in the nice part of town, a luxury apartment complex with a doorman and a rooftop pool. The kind of place you'd set up for a future wife while your current one helps your daughter with homework and makes your favorite lasagna. The sun is rising by the time I hear Daniel stirring. I've already cleared away the evidence, brewed coffee, and started making pancakes. Lily's favorite breakfast. Normal mom things. Like I haven't spent the night unraveling the elaborate fiction of our marriage. Something smells good, Daniel says, coming up behind me. He tries to kiss my cheek, but I turn away, pretending to flip a pancake. Late night? I ask, proud of how casual I sound. Yeah, the Johnson account is really demanding right now. He pours himself coffee, and I watch him add exactly 2 sugars, no cream. I used to find his predictable habits endearing, but it'll calm down soon. Sure it will. Right after the spring wedding, I bet. Mommy! Lily bounces into the kitchen in her unicorn pajamas. You made pancakes! Special treat, I say, sliding a plate toward her. Since Daddy's been working so hard lately. Daniel catches my eye, something uncertain flickering across his face. But I'm already turning away, humming as I pour more batter onto the griddle. I might be late again tonight, he says, straightening his tie. The blue one I gave him for Christmas. Don't wait up. Of course not, I smile, thinking of the apartment across town where he's probably heading. Oh, by the way, I'm hosting a party next month. Nothing fancy, just some friends and neighbors. A party? He frowns. What's the occasion? Does there need to be one? I keep my voice light, but my heart is pounding. I just thought it would be nice to get everyone together before the holidays. Before your secret life explodes in your face. Sure, whatever you want. He kisses Lily's head, grabs his briefcase. Just let me know the date. Oh, I will, right after I figure out how to invite your fiancé. After he leaves, I watch Lily eat her pancakes, chattering about her upcoming school play. She has syrup on her chin and Daniel's eyes, and my chest aches with the weight of what I'm about to do. My phone buzzes, a text from Amy next door. Coffee? Have the most interesting gossip about the new tenant in Lakeside Apartments. I smile, really smile, for the first time in 24 hours. Be right over, I type back. Sometimes the universe hands you exactly what you need, and sometimes what you need is a nosy neighbor who lives for other people's drama. Amy's kitchen smells like cinnamon rolls and secrets. She's already got 2 coffee mugs out when I arrive, practically vibrating with the need to share her latest intelligence report. You'll never believe who I saw at Lakeside, she says, sliding a warm roll toward me. That new tenant? She's gorgeous. Like magazine gorgeous. And guess who was helping her move in last weekend? My throat tightens, but I force myself to take a bite. Who? You're Daniel, she leans forward, eyes bright. I was driving by, purely coincidentally, of course, and there he was, carrying boxes like some knight in shining armor. I concentrate on chewing, tasting nothing. Really? That's interesting. I know, right? Apparently she's some hotshot lawyer. Rebecca something, single from what I gathered talking to the doorman. Amy winks. Not that I was snooping. Of course you were, that's exactly why I'm here. The doorman? You talked to him? Oh yeah, Marcus is a sweetie. Always up for a chat, especially if you bring him coffee. She stirs her own cup thoughtfully. He mentioned she just moved here from Chicago, starting fresh after some big breakup. Starting fresh. With my husband. Does she have many visitors? I keep my voice casual, like I'm just playing along with neighborhood gossip. Well, Amy glances around conspiratorially, though we're alone. Marcus says there's this one guy who comes by a lot, always in nice suits, usually late evenings. My coffee turns to acid in my stomach. What time evenings? After 8, mostly. Stays pretty late. She frowns. You okay, Maggie? You look a little pale. Just tired. Lily had a rough night. The lie slides out smooth as butter. Tell me more about this Rebecca. By the time I leave Amy's, I have Rebecca's full name, workplace, and regular schedule, all delivered with Amy's signature mix of concern and barely concealed glee at having prime gossip. I also have the beginning of a plan. That afternoon, I park across from Rebecca's building, watching the elegant glass entrance through dark sunglasses. A woman in a cream-colored blazer exits, tall, willowy, with the kind of effortless grace that belongs in luxury car commercials. My hands clench the steering wheel until my knuckles turn white. So this is her. The woman my husband loves enough to blow up our family for. She walks to a silver BMW, checking her phone as she goes. I snap a quick photo, then another. Evidence. Ammunition. My finger hovers over the delete button for a moment. This feels wrong, creepy, like something a crazy person would do. But then I remember the wedding invitations, the secret apartment, the years of lies. I keep the photos. That evening, I'm helping Lily with her homework when Daniel texts. Working late again. Sorry. Mommy, what's 7 times 8? Lily asks, pencil poised over her math worksheet. 56, I answer automatically, then pause. Actually, why don't we figure it out together? What's 7 times 7? 49. Good. So 7 times 8 would be 49 plus 7, 56. Her face lights up with pride. See? You didn't need me at all. I ruffle her hair, fighting back sudden tears. She's so much stronger than she knows. Than I knew I could be. My phone buzzes again. Bailey this time. Haven't seen you in forever. Everything okay? I stare at the message, thinking about the photos on my phone, the growing knot of rage in my chest, the careful notes I've been taking. Bailey would tell me to be direct, to confront Daniel, to take the high road. But the high road won't protect Lily from having her world shattered. It won't give me back the years I spent loving a lie. It won't make Rebecca understand what she's walking into. Just busy, I text back. But definitely still on for the party next month. Actually, I could use your help planning it. 3 dots appear as she types. Of course. What kind of party? I look at Lily, happily counting on her fingers, still believing in her perfect family. Then I think of Rebecca in her cream blazer, probably sitting in her luxury apartment right now, waiting for my husband to arrive. A surprise party? I type. The kind no one will ever forget. My hands are steady as I hit send, steadier than they've been since finding those invitations. Because now I know exactly what I need to do. This isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about justice. About truth. About making sure both Daniel and Rebecca understand exactly what they're destroying. And if I have to become someone I barely recognize to make that happen, well, Daniel should have thought of that before he decided to marry another woman. Bailey's face changes when she sees the invitation list I've prepared. We're sitting in her sunroom, surrounded by party planning supplies and half-empty wine glasses, but the cozy atmosphere shatters as she reads the names. Maggie, she says slowly. Who's Rebecca Ryan? I take a long sip of wine. Someone who needs to be there. And why does she need to be at your party? Bailey's voice has that careful tone she uses when she thinks I'm about to do something stupid. Along with what looks like half her law firm? Because I trace the rim of my glass, watching the light catch the crystal. She's engaged to my husband. The silence that follows feels endless. Bailey sets down the list with deliberate care, like it might explode. What did you just say? So I tell her everything. The invitations, the apartment, Amy's intel. With each detail, Bailey's expression darkens until she looks like she might be sick, or like she might hunt down Daniel herself. I'll kill him, she says when I finish. Actually kill him. We'll hide the body in Amy's garden. God knows she's got enough rose bushes to. I don't want him dead, I interrupt. I want him exposed. I want everyone to know exactly who he is. By humiliating him at a party? She leans forward, eyes intense. Maggie, this isn't you. You're better than this. Am I? I stand up, suddenly restless. Because the old me got played for a fool. The old me spent 8 years believing in a marriage that was a joke. Think about Lily. I am thinking about Lily. My voice cracks. I'm thinking about how she deserves to know her father for who he really is. I'm thinking about how Rebecca deserves to know what she's really marrying. Bailey is quiet for a moment, studying me. Have you met her? Rebecca? No, but maybe you should. She holds up a hand when I try to protest. Not to confront her, just observe. See who she really is before you destroy her life along with Daniel's. The suggestion hits me like a slap. She's not innocent in this. She knows she's engaged to a married man. Are you sure about that? I sink back into my chair, the certainty I've been clinging to starting to crack. She must know. Must she? Bailey refills our glasses. Because if she doesn't, you're about to publicly humiliate someone who might be just as much a victim as you are. The thought makes me nauseous. Or maybe it's the wine. So, what am I supposed to do? Just let them have their perfect spring wedding while I watch from the sidelines? No. Bailey reaches across the table, squeezes my hand. But maybe there's a way to handle this that won't leave scorched earth behind, especially for Lily. I pull my hand away, standing again. I need some air. Outside, Bailey's garden is alive with early evening shadows. The same garden where we celebrated Lily's 5th birthday, where Daniel flipped burgers and told Dad jokes and seemed so perfectly, wonderfully normal. I pull out my phone, scroll to the photo of Rebecca. She doesn't look like a homewrecker. She looks happy, confident, like I used to look before I found those invitations. My phone buzzes. A text from Daniel. Meeting running late. Don't wait up. I wonder where he is right now. In Rebecca's apartment, planning their future while our present crumbles? Does he kiss her the way he used to kiss me? Does he make her laugh with those terrible puns he saves for people he really loves? Does she know she's not the only one who loves him back? Bailey appears beside me, silent but supportive. Whatever you decide, she says finally, I'm with you. But please, please be sure this is what you really want. I stare at the party plans scattered across her sunroom table, visible through the window. The careful lists, the strategic seating arrangements, the timeline designed for maximum impact. It looks less like justice now and more like a bomb waiting to detonate. But then I think about Daniel sleeping peacefully beside me every night, knowing what he knows. About Rebecca trying on wedding dresses, planning her perfect day, while my daughter draws hearts on cards for a father who's already chosen his next family. The party stays, I say, my voice firm. But maybe I need to do some reconnaissance first. Bailey nods slowly. Want company? No. I pull up Rebecca's work address on my phone. This is something I need to do alone. Because Bailey's right. I need to know exactly who I'm dealing with before I tear everything apart. Need to look in Rebecca's eyes and see if she's another liar or just another fool who fell for Daniel's perfect mask. Either way, the party is happening. But now I have a stop to make first. Time to introduce myself to my husband's fiancée. Rebecca's law firm occupies the top 3 floors of a gleaming downtown building. I sit in the coffee shop across the street, watching professionals stream in and out, wondering which of them know my husband as Rebecca's fiancé rather than my spouse. My hands shake slightly as I adjust my blazer, the expensive one Daniel bought me last Christmas. Fitting, really. I've rehearsed my story, potential client, seeking representation for a business matter. Just enough truth to be believable. More coffee? The barista hovers nearby. No, thanks. I've been nursing the same cup for an hour, gathering courage. Actually, yes. 1 to go. Walking into the building feels like crossing a threshold I can't return from. The elevator rises smoothly to the 42nd floor, and I repeat my story in my head. But when the doors open, all my careful planning evaporates. Rebecca stands at the reception desk, laughing with the receptionist. She's even more striking up close. Tall, poised, radiating the kind of confidence that comes from never having your world shattered. She's wearing a delicate gold necklace I recognize from Daniel's Tiffany's purchase. My chest constricts. I want to scream, to grab that necklace and demand answers. Instead, I step forward, my heels clicking on the marble floor. Rebecca turns, still smiling. Can I help you? I hope so. My voice sounds strange to my own ears. I'm looking for some legal advice. Of course. She gestures toward her office. I have a few minutes before my next meeting. Her office is a corner suite with floor-to-ceiling windows. Family photos dot her desk. Parents, siblings, but no Daniel. Not yet. She settles behind her desk while I perch on the edge of a leather chair, studying her. So, what brings you in today? I open my mouth to deliver my practiced story, but something else entirely comes out. How do you handle betrayal cases? She blinks, professional smile never wavering. That's quite broad. Are we talking business betrayal, intellectual property? Marriage. The word hangs between us. When someone you trust completely turns out to be living a double life. Something flickers across her face. Recognition? Concern? That would fall under family law, which isn't my specialty. But I can refer you to... He bought you that necklace 2 months ago, I interrupt softly. From Tiffany's. The same day he told me he was working late on the Johnson account. The color drains from her face. I'm sorry, who are you? I think you know. My voice remains steady even as my heart pounds. Or at least you should. She stands abruptly, moving away from her desk. I think you need to leave. Does he make you laugh with terrible puns? I ask, still sitting. Does he bring you coffee in bed on Sunday mornings? Does he tell you you're the only one who really understands him? Security. She reaches for her phone, but her hand trembles. He's married. The words cut through the air like glass. He has a daughter. Her name is Lily. She's 8, and she still believes in fairy tales. Rebecca sinks back into her chair, face ashen. You're lying. I pull out my phone, scroll to a recent family photo. Lily between us at her school play. Daniel's arm around my waist. Am I? She stares at the image, then at me, then back at the photo. I see the moment reality hits her. It's the same shattering I felt in the car that day. I'm going to be sick, she whispers. Funny, that's exactly how I felt when I found your wedding invitations. She presses her hands to her face, shoulders shaking. I should feel triumphant, watching her perfect world crumble. Instead, I feel hollow. I didn't know, she says finally, voice raw. I swear to God, I didn't know. I believe you. The realization surprises me. That's what makes him so good at this, making everyone believe exactly what they need to. She looks up, mascara smeared. What are you going to do? I stand, smoothing my blazer. I'm throwing a party next month. You should come. A party? She laughs, slightly hysterical. Are you insane? Probably. I move toward the door, then pause. He likes his coffee with 2 sugars, no cream. He hates cilantro but pretends to like it at restaurants. And he always has a reasonable explanation for being late. She flinches at each detail. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve to know exactly who you're dealing with. I meet her eyes, and because I'm not the only one who gets to decide what happens next. I leave her there, surrounded by her success and her shattered illusions. In the elevator, my phone buzzes. Daniel, of course. Can't wait to see you tonight, his text reads. Miss you. I wonder which of us he's texting that to. Maybe both, maybe neither. The party just got more complicated, but now I know. It's not just about revenge anymore, it's about truth. And Rebecca deserves that as much as I do. The party invitations arrive on a Tuesday. I watch Daniel open his over breakfast, his expression carefully neutral as he reads the elegant script. Quite a guest list, he says, buttering his toast. The Johnson team, half the neighborhood. Rebecca Ryan, the lawyer? I pour more coffee, steady despite my racing heart. Amy recommended her. Said she's new in town, might be good for networking. He sets the invitation down too carefully. And you've met her? Briefly. I smile, thinking of mascara-stained cheeks and shattered illusions. She seemed lovely. Lily bounces into the kitchen, backpack already on. Is Rebecca coming to the party? She's so nice. Daniel's head snaps up. My coffee cup freezes halfway to my lips. You've met Rebecca? Daniel's voice is too casual. At the ice cream shop yesterday. Lily grabs a banana from the fruit bowl. She bought me a double scoop and said she loved my unicorn shirt. The silence stretches like taffy. I watch Daniel's face, seeing the calculations behind his eyes. Yesterday was his supposed late meeting. That was nice of her, he manages. She said she knows you from work, Lily continues innocently, and that she had something really important to tell Mommy. Daniel's toast falls from his fingers. Important? Lily, honey, you'll be late for school. I grab my keys, avoiding Daniel's stare. Let's go. In the car, after dropping Lily off, I finally check my phone. 3 missed calls from Rebecca. A text. We need to talk, please. I pull into a parking lot, hands shaking as I dial her number. She answers on the first ring. I can't do this, she says immediately. The party, the lies, any of it. I saw your daughter yesterday and she's real. This is all real. Of course she's real. My voice comes out sharper than intended. What did you think she was? I don't know, Rebecca's voice cracks. Daniel said he was divorced, said you were his unstable ex who couldn't let go, said Lily was better off with limited contact. I believed him because I wanted to. My laugh sounds hollow even to me. Unstable ex? That's creative. I've called off the engagement, she pauses, but I haven't told him why. Something shifts in my chest, hope or fear, I'm not sure which. Why not? Because you're right, about the party, about everyone knowing the truth. She takes a shaky breath. He needs to face what he's done, all of it. I grip the steering wheel, remembering Daniel's face when Lily mentioned Rebecca. He's starting to suspect something. Good. Steel enters her voice. Let him sweat. When I get home, Daniel's car is in the driveway. He's supposed to be at work. I find him in his home office, phone pressed to his ear. Need to postpone the meeting, he's saying. Something's come up. Yes, I understand the implications. He sees me in the doorway and ends the call abruptly. You're home early. So are you. We stare at each other across the room. 8 years of marriage, and I've never seen him look so uncertain. About Rebecca, he starts. The lawyer? I keep my voice light. What about her? He runs a hand through his hair. It seems odd, inviting a stranger to such a personal gathering. Does it? I move closer, noting how he tenses. Because Amy says she's not a stranger to everyone. His phone buzzes. Probably Rebecca, declining the invitation we both know she won't decline. He doesn't check it. Maggie, he says softly. What's really going on? I think about Lily's innocent revelation at breakfast, about Rebecca's mascara-stained face, about all the perfectly reasonable explanations he's given me over the years. Nothing's going on, I lie, matching his soft tone. Just a party. You do want to celebrate with our friends, don't you? He studies my face, searching for something. I wonder if he sees the woman he married, or the unstable ex he described to Rebecca. Of course, he says finally. It'll be perfect. Perfect. Like our marriage. Like his lies. Like the way all of this is going to explode in exactly 2 weeks. My phone vibrates. Bailey, then Amy, then Rebecca, all confirming their attendance. The pieces are falling into place. No more rehearsals, no more preparation, just the final act. Yes, I agree, meeting his uncertain gaze with a smile that feels like broken glass. Perfect. Because that's what Daniel always wanted. Perfection. And in 2 weeks, he'll get exactly that. A perfect party. A perfect revelation. A perfectly orchestrated destruction of every lie he's ever told. I can't wait. The party hums around me like a live wire. I'm wearing the black dress Daniel loves, hair swept up exactly the way he likes it. Everything perfect. Everything calculated. You okay? Bailey appears at my elbow, champagne in hand. You look a little... like I'm about to burn my life to the ground. I was going to say pale, but sure, that works too. Across the room, Daniel works the crowd with practiced charm. He hasn't noticed Rebecca yet, standing quietly by the window in a cream dress that matches those wedding invitations. She catches my eye, gives a slight nod. It's not too late, Bailey whispers. We could still call this off. But it is too late. Has been since I found those invitations, since I sat in Rebecca's office, since Lily innocently revealed the threads of her father's lies. Time for the toast, I say instead. My heels click against the hardwood as I move to the center of the room. The sound of crystal being tapped rings out. Amy, right on cue. Conversations fade. Daniel beams at me with practiced affection. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight, I begin, my voice steady despite the earthquake in my chest. Especially those who traveled so far to be here. Rebecca shifts slightly. Daniel's smile flickers. You know, when I was planning this party, I thought a lot about love, about trust, about the stories we tell ourselves about the people we share our lives with. The room has gone completely still. I can feel Bailey's concern, Amy's anticipation, Rebecca's quiet resolve. Daniel, I turn to face him directly. Would you join me, since this party is really all about you? He moves forward, uncertainty shadowing his features. Maggie, it's okay, honey. I just want to share some stories, like how we met, how you pursued me for months, how you promised to love only me forever. His eyes dart around the room, sensing the shift in atmosphere. Maybe this isn't the time, or we could talk about more recent stories. I take a step closer, like your late meetings, your business trips, your apartment across town. The color drains from his face. Someone gasps, probably Amy, loving every second. Or better yet, I continue, voice crystal clear in the silence. Why don't we talk about spring weddings? Maggie, stop. His voice holds a warning, but I'm done heeding those. Rebecca, I call out, would you like to share your version of the story? She steps forward, elegant and composed. Daniel's face goes from white to gray as she moves to stand beside me. No, he says hoarsely. This isn't... Isn't what? Rebecca's voice could freeze hell. Isn't the perfect moment to explain how you're somehow engaged to me while married to Maggie? How you told me she was your unstable ex-wife? How you made me complicit in destroying a little girl's family? Murmurs ripple through the crowd. I see the Johnson team exchanging glances, Amy practically vibrating with vindicated gossip, Bailey watching with quiet support. I can explain, Daniel starts, but for once, his silver tongue fails him. Can you explain this? I pull out my phone, project the wedding invitation onto the wall where I'd secretly installed a projector earlier. Or these. Credit card statements appear, highlighting his double life in stark detail. Or maybe, Rebecca adds, you can explain why you were with me yesterday when you told Maggie you had a late meeting. Daniel's face twists. You two planned this? Set me up? No, Daniel. I step closer, close enough to smell his familiar cologne. You set yourself up. We just made sure everyone could see the show. Including me. The new voice cuts through the tension. Daniel spins around to find Ross, my brother, emerging from the hallway. With Lily. Uncle Ross showed me the pictures, Daddy, Lily says quietly, of you and Rebecca. He said you've been lying to us. I hadn't planned this part. Had specifically told Ross to keep Lily away tonight. But seeing her there, small and brave and devastatingly honest, I realize it's perfect. Princess, Daniel starts, reaching for her. She steps back into Ross's protective embrace. Is it true? Have you been lying? The mighty Daniel, master of explanations, stands speechless before his daughter's simple question. Yes, he finally whispers. Yes, I lied. The admission hangs in the air like shattered glass. I feel it cut through the last threads of our marriage, through the perfect facade he'd constructed, through every story he'd spun. Then I don't believe in you anymore, Lily says, with the brutal clarity of childhood. She turns to me, eyes wet but chin high. Can we go home now, Mommy? Home. Not this house of lies. Not this carefully curated stage for Daniel's performance. Yes, baby. I hold out my hand to her. We can go home. As we walk out, leaving Daniel standing alone in his wreckage, I hear Rebecca begin to detail every lie he told her. Hear the disgusted murmurs of his colleagues. Hear the collapse of his perfect world. But all I feel is light, free, ready for whatever comes next. Dawn creeps through Bailey's guest room window, painting the unfamiliar walls in soft gold. Lily sleeps beside me, her small hand curled in mine. On the nightstand, my phone lights up with another message from Daniel. The 20th since we left the party. I don't read it. Instead, I ease out of bed, careful not to wake Lily, and pad downstairs to Bailey's kitchen. The morning feels raw, new, like the first breath after breaking through water's surface. Bailey's already at the counter, coffee brewing. Couldn't sleep either. Too busy plotting my next life-destroying party, I say, managing a small smile. God, his face when Rebecca started listing his lies. She hands me a steaming mug. I thought he might actually spontaneously combust. I keep waiting to feel guilty. I wrap my hands around the warm ceramic, or devastated, or something other than relieved. Relieved is allowed. She studies me over her cup. So is angry, hurt, triumphant, or whatever else you're feeling. The doorbell rings, startling us both. Through the front window, I see Ross on the porch, holding a manila envelope. Morning, sis. He kisses my cheek as he enters. Brought you something interesting. I open the envelope, pull out a stack of papers. Bank statements, property records, email printouts. What is this? Remember when you asked me to look into Daniel's finances? Ross settles at the counter. Well, I did. And guess what I found? My hands shake as I scan the documents. Offshore accounts, hidden assets, a pattern of transactions that speaks of something much bigger than a secret fiancé. He's been embezzling, Ross explains quietly, from his own company for years. The coffee turns bitter in my mouth. How much? Millions. Ross taps one particularly damning statement. The Johnson account? It's a shell, a cover for moving money around. A laugh bubbles up in my throat, harsh, almost hysterical. So, while I was planning my little revenge party, you accidentally exposed a major financial fraud scheme? Yeah, Ross grins. The FBI is very interested in having a chat with him. Heavy footsteps on the stairs announce Lily's awakening. She appears in the doorway, rubbing sleep from her eyes. Mommy? Uncle Ross? Hey, Squirt. Ross scoops her up, tickling her until she giggles. Who wants pancakes? While Ross and Lily raid Bailey's pantry, my phone buzzes again. This time it's Rebecca. He's been calling me too, her text reads. But I thought you should see this first. A photo appears. Daniel, leaving her apartment building late last night, with another woman. Caught them in the elevator, Rebecca adds. Guess we weren't special enough to warrant exclusive lying rights. I should feel something. Anger, betrayal, vindication. Instead, I feel the last weight lift from my chest. The last question mark straighten into a period. You okay? Bailey asks softly. Through the kitchen window, I watch the sunrise paint the sky in brilliant oranges and pinks. Lily's laughter mingles with Ross's terrible dad jokes as they make a mess of Bailey's pristine kitchen. My phone lights up with another call from Daniel that I'll never answer. You know what? I say, turning to Bailey. I really am. Good. She hesitates. Because there's something else you should know. The publishing company I work for, they're very interested in your story. I blink. My story? A memoir, about discovering your husband's double life and taking back your narrative, about helping another woman do the same. She pulls out a business card. If you're interested. The card feels heavy in my hand, weighted with possibility, with power. Mommy, Lily calls. Uncle Ross is making pancakes wrong. Am not, Ross protests. This is how Julia Child did it. Julia Child never dropped batter on her shoes, Bailey mutters. I move to help them, tucking the card into my pocket. My phone buzzes one final time, Daniel again, but this time I don't even glance at it. Because this isn't his story anymore. It's mine. Mine and Lily's and Rebecca's and every other person he tried to write into his fiction. Here, I tell Ross, taking the spatula. Let me show you how it's done. The pancake flips perfectly, golden brown against silver steel. Behind me, Lily claps. Bailey starts the coffee maker again. Ross pretends to take notes on proper pancake technique. And I stand in this kitchen that isn't mine, surrounded by people who are finally writing my own story. One where perfect isn't the goal. Truth is,